The following program is a production of Pioneer Public Television. This program on Pioneer Public Television is funded by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund, with money from the vote of the people of Minnesota on November 4, 2008. Additional support provided by Mark and Margaret Yekel Julien in honor of Shalom Hill Farm, a nonprofit rural education retreat center in a beautiful prairie setting near Windham in southwestern Minnesota. ShalomHillFarm.org. The Arrowwood Resort and Conference Center, your ideal choice for Minnesota resorts offering luxury townhomes, 18 holes of golf, Darling Reflection Spa, Big Splash Water Park, and much more. Alexandria, Minnesota, a relaxing vacation or great location for an event. Explore alex.com. Easy to get to, hard to leave.
Welcome to Postcards. I'm Dana Johnson. Today we're traveling to the Center for the Arts in Fergus Falls, and we'll meet up with a Minnesota-based dance company, Ragamala. In 2011, Ragamala's artistic directors, Ronnie and Aparna, were named Artists of the Year by the Minneapolis Star Tribune. Now Ragamala's award-winning dancers will share with us their vibrant dance, inspired by the traditions of South India.
My dance company is called Ragamala Dance. I founded it in 1992. Actually, the style of dance that's performed is Bharata Natyam, which is a 2,000-year-old art form that thrived in the Hindu temples. The dance form Bharata Natyam comes from 4 Indian words. Bha is for bhava, which means expression, Ra for raga, which is melody, and Ta for tala, which means rhythm, and Natyam in the Indian language means to dance. So it's a dance form that has all these aspects in it. Coming to the United States in 1978, I brought what I had learned to this country and started to, perform and teach, and then founded Ragamala in 92 to make this art form accessible to all audiences. So this classical form combines facial expressions, emotions, hand gestures, and rhythm.
And the first time I ever saw Bharata Natyam was the first show that Ragamala did after Ronnie and Aparna formed the company in 1992. And I fell in love with the form because of the way it combined intense physicality and profound spirituality and emotion.
Growing up in India, I was in a very traditional family. So I learned a lot of cultural things that doesn't exist now in the youngsters growing up. I learned how to make floor drawings. I learned how to sing. I learned how to feel when you go into a temple. So many things that people take it for granted, or as youngsters think it's old-fashioned, was part of my life. And at that time, I wasn't very happy learning all that. But now coming here, I look back and think the rich culture that my parents taught me, I can draw from it, and I draw from in all my choreography because of my experience of growing up in India, and that has helped me tremendously in being the artist that I am here.
So growing up in Minnesota as a second-generation Indian was both wonderful and difficult. I absolutely love the dance form. I love going to India. I love everything about it. It's extremely spiritual, and I get to work with my family. My mother runs the company with my sister. But growing up, it was difficult because I did want to be like other American kids. And my mother and sister and I were always going to India every year for 4 months to learn dance. And I would miss my friends, and I wanted to try all kinds of other things besides dancing. I tried piano and ice skating and gymnastics. So I had a little bit of a different path back to the company.
Ragamala's work is rooted in a classical dance form from the southeastern part of India called Bharata Natyam.
Bharata Natyam is used to tell stories from Hindu mythology, and a lot of the work is still rooted in Hinduism. So, for example, our most recent work, Sacred Earth, is an ode to the earth and what it gives to us. And it kind of opens it up to our audiences so they don't feel like they're watching something religious. They can connect to what we're saying because what we're saying unites us all. So that's kind of the direction I think that Ragamala is going. Everything that we wear is meant to look as though the dancer looked back in those days. So this costume is meant to look like a sari, which is what women in South India wear, silk saris. And every part of the costume, from the flowers to the jewelry to the pleats, is meant to accentuate this dance form. So we wear big eye makeup to accentuate our eye movements. We paint our fingers and toes red because of our finger movements. So everything is meant to look as though a dancer looked in those days.
There are 28 single-handed and 24 double-handed gestures, and these are used in various combinations, just like sign language, along with the proper facial expressions and emotional interpretation. You can actually tell any story. This actually is called Kataka Mukham. It can be a deer, a cow, and the cows are sacred in India.
I feel extremely spiritual when I do this performance. You'll see how much we emote and how much we're in praise of the sun or the world around us, or maybe it is a religious figure.
All emotions and spirituality, and they represent the various gods. So for me, being a Hindu, being born in India, having been there, listening to it actually takes me to a special place. I get goosebumps. And sometimes when I dance, I'm moved to tears when I hear the music and see the dance.
Being from Minnesota, growing up in Minnesota, has taught me to appreciate cold weather. But also, it's such a wonderful place to grow up. Everyone is really excited to see and learn about India. Every collaborator that we bring, every little town or big town that we visit is just a joy to visit.
Minnesota is an amazing array of artists from all over with different backgrounds. And Ragamala has actually collaborated with all these artists. So I have learned to respect art from other cultures and music from other cultures, and I've incorporated it into our work. I think I'm very, very fortunate to have a career like this. Dance is my career. I watch dance, I see dance, and I perform dance with two of my daughters. This could not have happened in India because I was never trained to be a professional in India. Only as a hobby did I learn. But coming to Minnesota made me make this my profession because I had an opportunity, I took that, and I went to India to study every year with my daughter, brought back that culture to Minnesota, and now, 33 years later, I'm still doing it. I'm still dancing. We are creating these beautiful pieces. I think there's nothing better that I would do if given an opportunity.
In all of the years that I've been studying with Ragamala, we've been to 37 U.S. states. We've been to 6 foreign countries, including India, Indonesia, Taiwan, Russia, Japan, and UK. And it's just been amazing. I never could have imagined that I would have been able to go to so many places.
Performing with my mother and sister is amazing. I mean, of course, I can't say that it's always perfect. Working with your family can be difficult, but I would say 99% of the time we are just thrilled to be able to share this together. It's a family business, and we're really good friends. We talk on the phone 5 times a day if we're not together, and people love to see the 3 of us on stage together, and it's because we're feeding off of each other's energy and we're having a great time up there.
I am twice blessed. I have 2 daughters who not only dance, but they run the company together. We travel together, so I always tell when we teach at schools, I take my kids to work, and I'm still taking my kids to work. It's been great.
For more information about upcoming performances, go to ragamala.net. Next, joining Ragamala on their recent tour, the Japanese taiko group Takara will bring the power of Japanese drumming to the stage. We hope you enjoyed Ragamala's performance. To learn more about the dance company, go to our website or meet with us personally on our Postcards Facebook page. We'll see you again next week on Postcards.
This program on Pioneer Public Television is funded by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund, with money from the vote of the people of Minnesota on November 4, 2008. Additional support provided by Mark and Margaret Yekel Julien in honor of Shalom Hill Farm, a nonprofit rural education retreat center in a beautiful prairie setting near Windham in southwestern Minnesota. ShalomHillFarm.org. The Arrowwood Resort and Conference Center, your ideal choice for Minnesota resorts offering luxury townhomes, 18 holes of golf, Darling Reflection Spa, Big Splash Water Park, and much more. Alexandria, Minnesota, a relaxing vacation or great location for an event. Explore alex.com. Easy to get to, hard to leave.